wider refugee camp is surrounded by Israel's separation wall, military watchtowers and remote-controlled guns. This Eid, for the first time in 2 years, residents set up stalls, cooked food, made art and let their kids play. They called it the Bazaar of Return. Al Jazeera's Leila Wada reports.
Dozens of people have been killed in an explosion in northeast Myanmar near the border with China. Local media and a rebel group have said the exact death toll in Sunday's blast in the village of Kaung Tat in Shan State was not immediately clear.
Rawalpindi, Islamabad. 6,000 Punjab police personnel are being deployed in Gilgit-Baltistan ahead of the June 7 election. It emerged on Sunday as the PTI reiterated its allegations of pre-poll rigging. Punjab authorities had initially approved the deployment of 5,000 personnel to GB and later gave the nod for the deployment of 1,000 more police personnel.
Some of those freed from a flooded cave in Laos are helping in efforts to find the last 2 missing men trapped inside. Rescuers have said. So far, 5 of the 7 initially missing have been rescued, but it is believed the remaining 2 men are trapped deeper inside the cave in a mountainous area of the central Seisei-Songbang province.
Polls have opened in the first round of Colombia's presidential election, in which a left-wing lawmaker, an independent businessman, and a right-wing senator are vying to succeed President Gustavo Petro. Government allied Senator Ivan Cepeda is currently leading in the polls. In Sunday's election, he is angling to cross the 50% threshold in the vote tally to avoid a June runoff, which could allow the splintered right-wing to consolidate around a single candidate.
Iran has restored gas production at 3 offshore platforms in the South Pars gas field. The head of the Pars oil and gas company has told state media after the facility was attacked by Israel in March. Taraj Dekkani said on Sunday that the platforms had not been damaged in the attacks. Iran's IRNA news agency reported.
Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Ethiopians vote on Monday in a general election to choose members of parliament, who will in turn select the next prime minister. The National Election Board of Ethiopia, MB, said 47 political parties and more than 10,900 candidates are in the race, including 2,198 for the federal parliament, 736 for regional and city councils and 73 independents. More than 50 million voters are registered, with official voter registration figures showing women account for around half of the electorate. Young Ethiopians make up a large share of the population, with a median age of about 19 years, according to United Nations population estimates, giving them a substantial presence in the country's electorate.
A 26-year-old Pakistani woman is contributing to cancer research in France through work focused on immunotherapy and cancer vaccine approaches. Sabrina Khan is working at the Cancer Research Centre of Lyon, one of France's leading oncology research institutes. She is part of the institute's immunology department, where researchers study treatments that use the body's immune system to fight cancer.
The Lahore High Court has ruled that haq mehr is a legal obligation of the husband and not a discretionary favour to the wife. The court said haq mehr is a woman's lawful and religious right. It also declared that under the law it is treated as a debt payable by the husband.
Islamabad, Power Minister Awais Leghari said on Sunday that there had been no sufficient outcome of talks to secure discounts from Chinese power producers thus far, unlike over 5 trillion in savings secured through revised agreements with other independent power producers, IPPs, and public sector plants. In March, the government had informed a parliamentary panel that about 5 TR in savings had been secured through revisions to power purchase agreements with 29 private and some state-owned power plants, spanning their 3 to 20-year terms.
Tehran. Iran authorities in Iran have reinstated some internet access 3 months the start of the war with the United States and Israel, but restrictions remain in place for most people. The Iranian government said last week that it had started a process to bring internet access back to a pre-war level, which was already very restricted, as Iran was at the time off an earlier 20-day shutdown imposed during deadly nationwide protests in January. San Francisco, California, a free-for-all primary has put Democrats at risk of being shut out of the race for governor in an otherwise safe state. California, starting along the west coast of the United States. California has a reputation for leaning blue. Democrats outnumber Republicans in the state nearly 2-1. Not since 2011 has a Republican held the governor's mansion or any statewide office at all.
Heavy rains have threatened to delay the search for 2 people who remain missing in a flooded cave in Laos after 5 others were rescued after being trapped underground for more than a week. Finnish diver Mikko Pasi, one of the first international rescuers to arrive at the site, told the Associated Press news agency that rains on Sunday had filled the cave up to the second chamber, preventing divers from entering until pumps can lower the water level.
Previous World Cup appearances, 20 best performance, 1954, 1974, 1990, 2014. First appearance, 1934, Italy top goal scorer, Miroslav Klose, 16. Most appearances, Lothar Matthaus, 25, player to watch. Florian Wirtz, FIFA world ranking. 8 Germany are desperate for a successful World Cup after 2 spectacular failures. They were knocked out in the group stages in 2018 and 2022.
Box founder Aaron Levy got us talking this week with a social media post suggesting that tech CEOs are uniquely prone to AI psychosis. On the latest episode of TechCrunch's Equity podcast, Kirsten Korosek, Sean O'Kane and I did our best to unpack Levy's comment. For one thing, we noted that he isn't disavowing AI tools, merely insisting that CEOs need to actually use those tools to understand them.
Welcome back to TechCrunch Mobility, your hub for the future of transportation. And now, more than ever, how AI is playing a part. To get this in your inbox, sign up here for free. If you're into EVs or sports cars, then you surely saw the kerfuffle over Ferrari's first all-electric car, the Luce. The reaction was swift and biting for the 5-seater EV designed by Apple veteran Jony Ive and priced at close to $650,000.
Researchers at the University of Sydney, working with startup Dewpoint Innovations, have developed a new paint-like coating that can cool buildings and collect water from the air without using electricity. The nano-engineered coating reflects up to 97% of sunlight. It also releases heat into the sky, allowing coated surfaces to stay cooler than the surrounding air.
Lahore Grammar School has reportedly started taking exams from Monday, June 1, despite government orders requiring schools in Punjab to remain closed for summer vacations. The development comes after Punjab announced summer vacations for schools from May 22 to August 24 due to rising temperatures and heatwave concerns.
Federal Minister for Power Aways Ahmed Khan Legari has rejected reports that the government plans to end electricity subsidies for protected consumers. Speaking at a press conference in Islamabad on Sunday, Legari said the government was not withdrawing subsidies for protected electricity users. He added that reports claiming otherwise were incorrect. Senior Minister Sharjeel Inam on Sunday urged the federal government to take notice of Indus River Systems Authorities, IRSA, unjust reduction of Sindh's share and ensure that Sindh received its rightful share of water. A 22% water shortage has been persisting in Sindh for the last 10 days as IRSA continues its efforts to equalize shortages between Punjab and Sindh.
According to Crunchbase's latest data around black founders, $643 million has poured into US black-founded startups since the beginning of the year, an amount not seen since 2022, when black founders raised $653 million in funding. For context, black founders raised $942 million of all venture dollars last year. That's 0.32% of the $290 billion total per Crunchbase estimates. That means in just a few months, black founders have already raised almost 70% of what they raised in all of last year.
A fresh leak has revealed details about Nvidia's upcoming N1 series processors for laptops with multiple variants of the company's highly anticipated ARM-based chips just ahead of its official unveiling at Computex 2026. According to Video Cards, the flagship N1X processor uses the same specs as the GB10 superchip found in Nvidia's DGX Spark AI system.
VFS Global, the world's largest visa outsourcing company, has come under scrutiny after an international investigation alleged that visa applicants were routinely pushed into buying paid services that were officially optional. The investigation by Lighthouse Reports and 14 media partners examined how governments have outsourced visa processing to private companies. It focused heavily on VFS Global, which handles visa applications for dozens of countries around the world.
Power Minister Awais Leghari on Sunday said that strict action had been taken against a Lahore electric supply company, Lesco, line superintendent, after Defence Minister Khawaja Asif complained of financial corruption. In an X post on Saturday, Asif said he had sought a former official's help for the repair of a transformer in the village of his domestic employee. Palestinian journalist Muhannad Chishta yearns to visit the graves of his sisters, Reem and Wala, in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, but there is a problem. They no longer exist on a map. The Sheikh Mohammed Cemetery in the Man area of Khan Yunis has been wiped from the map and replaced by the tents and armoured vehicles of an Israeli military outpost, according to recently updated satellite imagery added to Google Earth.
Israeli forces have reached the outskirts of the southern Lebanese city of Nabatea and captured the strategic Beaufort Castle despite a ceasefire agreement in place since April. As analysts warn, Israel is laying the groundwork for long-term control of territory inside Lebanon. The advance marks Israel's deepest incursion into Lebanon in more than a quarter of a century. Israeli forces now occupy about 2,000 square kilometres, 770 square miles, of Lebanese territory, nearly 1/5 of the country.
The World Health Organization has hailed the recovery of 5 people infected with a rare strain of Ebola for which there is no approved vaccine or treatment amid the latest outbreak of the virus in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus announced on Sunday that 4 people would soon be discharged from hospital after another patient was allowed to return home on Friday.
Cristiano Ronaldo has become the world's highest-paid athlete for 2026, according to Forbes, after earning an estimated $300 million over the past 12 months. The 41-year-old Portuguese soccer star topped the Forbes list for the 4th year in a row and the 6th time in his career. His latest total is also his highest annual earnings figure so far.
The Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD, forecast light to moderate rain, along with thunderstorms and dust storms at isolated places in parts of Sindh on June 1. The forecast is expected to bring some relief after several days of intense heat across the province.
The district administration of Naran has issued a travel advisory for Babasar Top, warning tourists, passengers and transporters to avoid unnecessary travel due to continuous snowfall and unsafe road conditions. According to the advisory, heavy snowfall at Babasar Top has created difficulties for travellers. The administration said people should check weather conditions before leaving for the area.